an organization, we were founded on leadership development. So using traditional methods, 25 years in the market, going, okay, how do we develop the leaders of tomorrow? How do we help people perform at their optimum? And historically, there haven't been a platform to give people the opportunity to practice leadership skills. It's always learn live, learn with your teams, learn in your corporate sector, because actually you're practicing giving feedback, or you're practicing managing conflict, or you're practicing change agility. And one of the beauties of innovation, and particularly virtual reality, is it mimics how humans learn best. We learn by experience. We learn through trial and error, we learn through actually applying things. And when you put people in a virtual environment, for all intents and purposes, it's real. Your subconscious brain doesn't know the difference between a virtual world and a real world. Your central nervous system is reacting the same way as it would when it was talking to normal people. So when you can create something like Jensen 8 and Biz Group have brought to this region, which is a multiplayer virtual reality environment, all of a sudden you see real behaviors coming through, and you see the authentic self of the people that you're coaching. So when you're trying to profile the next CEO that you want to bring into your organization, you get to see how do they cope with change? How do they cope with high pressure? How do they actually react with their colleagues? Are you employing the right person? And how do you need to develop them? And what are the nuances of their behavior that you can work on and help develop?
So TomTom is a map-making company. Right? We've been making maps for about 15, 20 years. We've continuously innovated in this. We need to use all the latest technology, like artificial intelligence, to, for instance, do sign recognition, so we can see the speed limits on the road. It's really our bread and butter. If we don't innovate, we don't survive.
Well, in today's timeline, if you're not really moving continuously, you're going to be obsolete in 6 months to 12 months time. I mean, it's happening in the electronic industry, and anything that is digital have to be innovative. Like, we have to constantly work and invest in R&D. And if you really look at what we're doing here is at SpotCheck, we have a preventive health kiosk, and we're continuously updating it. So we have the kiosk, we invested on the kiosk in the last couple of years. We got clients who are using that as a preventive screening technology. And now we are moving ahead and scaling this to a digital platform where you can engage with professionals, service providers, and so we can't stay like what we did a year ago. We have to move on. So we're quite excited to launch a digital platform, which is going to come next month. And we're constantly moving. And like us, every single company which is in the technology space have to keep innovating. I mean, there's a huge pressure to stay current. And we all need to stay current, and probably we have to think like 5 years or 2 years down the line, like what's really going to happen, and have plans for that.
Technology is as diverse as yesterday. If you don't innovate today, you're gone tomorrow. So we've actually, case in point, we've been known as a smartphone legacy brand for 20 years. For us, virtual reality was something that we launched about 4 years back. We've innovated every year. We've launched new products. Today, we just had a headset 4 years back. Today we've innovated a complete virtual reality ecosystem. We don't just have hardware. We've got our own platform called Viveport. We are funding developers and entrepreneurs to create content for that under a program called ViveX. We've got Vive Studios where we're creating content for films. So the whole logic is, if you don't innovate and you don't push the boundaries, you'll never be able to explore the full potential of a particular technology.